Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A Grosse Pointe businessman who died in a fiery plane crash is now alleged to have been living a double life, bankrolling an international drug ring.
A Beaumont doctor is giving us an inside look at the new COVID surge and what he's seeing inside the hospital where he works.
But we continue to follow the breaking news from Washington. For the second time in less than 3 months, a U.S. Capitol police officer has died in the line of duty. We're glad you're with us tonight at 6. A second officer still in the hospital at this hour for injuries suffered in that same attack. According to President Biden, that officer is fighting for his life.
Tonight, we have learned the identity of the officer who did not survive. William Billy Evans had been a member of the United States Capitol Police Department for 18 years. Investigators say he and another officer were hit by a car, the driver ramming into them, and then a barricade this afternoon at a security checkpoint. They say one of them drew their weapon and shot the suspect, who later died.
NBC News reporting he's 25-year-old Noah Green from Indiana. And now investigators are trying to figure out a motive.
We do not have the suspect on file with U.S. Capitol Police, so there's no indication at this time that there's any nexus to any member of Congress.
It does not appear to be terrorism related, but obviously we'll continue to investigate to see if there's some type of nexus along those lines.
Today's incident taking place in an already tense security environment in D.C. following the January 6th Capitol attacks.
Local 4's Larry Spruill had a chance to speak with one of our local members of Congress and joins us live now with their reaction. Larry.
Kimberly and Devin, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence says what happened at the U.S. Capitol today is simply heartbreaking. Another attack at the U.S. Capitol involving police, and now police officer William Bill Evans is dead because of it. Take a listen.
Oh my God, not again.
Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence says it was like deja vu when she saw the news on her phone Friday afternoon.
So I'm getting, my phone's just buzzing, and I look, and then I turned on the TV and I saw the officers being pinned by someone trying to ram onto the campus.
Lawrence is back in Michigan for the holiday weekend, but the news of one U.S. Capitol police officer dead and another one injured after a suspect with a knife rammed a vehicle into a police barricade outside the Capitol Friday afternoon reminded her of January 6th.
That knot in my stomach from when I was on the floor during the insurrection.
Police are trying to put together the pieces of what happened, leaving more questions than answers.
I don't know all the information. I don't know if this was a terrorist attack. I don't know if this was another attempt at an insurgents. I don't know, but just the fact that someone tried to breach the Capitol grounds in such a violent way.
Lawrence says there were discussions about removing the barriers in front of the Capitol, but now she's not sure about that.
To see those barriers, a lot of people are saying bring them down, but I'm concerned now as we navigate through how to keep the Capitol safe. Is it the right thing to do to take them down? And after what happened today, I don't think we're ready yet.
And Lawrence says that they have a close relationship with Capitol police officers. Every time she walks in there, they would greet her, ask her, does she need anything? She says this is a tough time for everyone at Capitol Hill. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Absolutely is. Okay, Larry, thank you. We'll have much more on this still developing story ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. That's right here on Local 4 immediately following this broadcast.
Michigan's coronavirus spread now the worst in the country. According to data from COVID Act Now, the state is leading the nation in daily cases, virus infection, and positive test rates. Today, Michigan reported 5,498 new cases and 20 more deaths. The CDC released new guidance saying it is okay for people who are fully vaccinated to travel. They say you don't need to get tested or quarantine if you travel in the U.S. On Monday, all Michiganders aged 16 and up will become eligible for the COVID vaccine. Now, we know the numbers can never tell the full story of the recent surge in cases, and that's why one local doctor wants to let people know what he's seeing on the job. That doctor tells our Sean Lay he feels cases are already at crisis levels for hospitals. Sean?
Well, through his own eyes, this doctor will take you right inside Beaumont Royal Oak. He'll describe to you exactly what he's seeing about this COVID crisis.
It's getting worse. The numbers are up again today. The totals are, across the system over 500 people. A month ago, we had around 100, a little over 100 people.
Dr. Matthew Sims is the director of infectious disease research for Beaumont Health. COVID patients coming in, he says, are more sick, likely due to COVID variants. They are younger, 30 to 50 years of age, and they keep coming.
We're seeing more and more COVID patients every day.
Beaumont Health has reopened all of its COVID wings across the system. The average stay, 1 week. Steroids and other drugs used now seem to be helping. But listen to when he says the number of cases will be at crisis levels.
We're already there. We know things need to change. You know, the governor so far has said we're not planning to shut down again. And you know, it's a difficult situation.
Dr. Sims says there is economic pressure, political pressure, and then there is medical pressure.
There's medical pressure that says we really probably should shut down. So it's you know, we're going to have to see where things go. At some point, you know, if it keeps going this way, they may have to just say, you know, all the other pressures aside, we have to lock down again.
But again, no new restrictions coming from the state. The focus right now is strictly on vaccinations. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Hey, Sean. Well, ever since Miguel Cabrera hit that home run yesterday, it seems like the sun's been shining.
Weird, right? But Andrew, we are waiting on some warmer temperatures for the weekend.
We certainly are. It's still chilly out there, but at least not as cold as what it was like yesterday at this time. Instead of temperatures in the 30s, we got temperatures in the 40s and more of that glorious sunshine. Sun will still be out for at least the next hour and a half. Sunset's still getting later and later, just the way we like it. This time, it's after 8 p.m. for the first time this year. 8:01 is when sunset officially is. We got mostly blue skies overhead, just some fair weather clouds overhead, very high thin ones, and temperatures still in the 40s. 46 degrees, temperature has barely budged since you joined us at 4 o'clock. We're looking at 50 degrees for our neighbors in Chicago, milder, even warmer still back through Minnesota and parts of Iowa. That milder air is on the way for us this weekend. It is going to be another cold night tonight though. Temperatures not falling to the teens, but most likely upper 20s and low 30s. With mostly clear skies out there. So what will temperatures be like tomorrow? Could we break 50 degrees? There's a good chance we will. What about getting closer to 70 degrees? We'll talk about your Easter Sunday forecast, your 7-day forecast in moments. Now remember, you can track temperatures, Storm Tracker 4, although there won't be much in terms of rain and snow for this weekend. We'll get to that too. You can get everything you need weather-wise, especially if you're on the go, with the Local Forecasters app. This is perfect for the holiday weekend if you're doing some traveling. It is faster, easier, more accurate, and is free. So download it now. Local Forecasters app, search WDIV in your app store.
All right, Andrew. The arrest of an accused international drug kingpin has led to new revelations about a Metro Detroit businessman. The feds say Marty Tibbetts of Grosse Pointe Park was funding a global drug ring prior to his death in 2018 in a plane crash. Grant Herms has been sorting through the indictment at the center of it all. And Grant, this is really like something straight out of a Hollywood script.
It really is a wild story. You've got international travel and espionage-like technology involved here, all of it allegedly stemming from suburban Metro Detroit.
Inside this new bombshell court filing, former Grosse Pointe Woods CEO Marty Tibbetts allegedly involved in an international drug trafficking ring. According to court documents, Tibbetts allegedly helped finance a ring being run by this man, Illy Didani, wiring more than $1 million to allegedly fund the ring, which spanned from South America to Southern Europe. Investigators say they tracked Didani over several years, dating back to 2015. Photos of Didani with weapons, another showing a duffel bag believed to be full of South American cocaine, and another showing piles of money meant for laundering with an address in Fraser. Tibbetts was the CEO of Clementine Live Answering Services in Harper Woods until his sudden death in 2018. An avid pilot and aviation enthusiast, he often worked with children. Tibbetts was killed in a plane crash in Wisconsin. But before his death, court documents allege Tibbetts was living a double life. The drug ring allegedly working with Tibbetts to develop underwater trafficking gadgets, including this underwater drone known as the Torpedo, that would use magnets to attach itself to commercial ships to travel filled with drugs across the Atlantic. After Tibbetts' death, the drug ring was forced to find other funding and eventually allegedly stopped work on the Torpedo and began shipping cocaine in cargo ships and boxes of bananas with a new alleged backer, until Didani was caught.
And Adani was ordered to appear in court here in Michigan. He's accused of conspiracy to distribute drugs using a vessel to do so and money laundering. Kimberly?
And Grant, I understand the man behind this drug ring was known to Michigan authorities before this.
He's got a record dating back to 2001, a lot of operating or driving while intoxicated, and an assault and battery charge. He was convicted for one of those intoxication charges.
Yeah, okay, Grant, thank you.
University of Michigan Board of Regents is calling for a fellow board member to resign in the wake of his controversial comments. Ron Weiser is also the head of the Michigan Republican Party, and last week at a meeting with the North Oakland Republican Club, he called Governor Whitmer, Attorney General Dana Nessel, and Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson the three witches. Today, the Board of Regents held a special meeting censuring Weiser. The board does not have the power to remove him from his elected position, but did remove him from his two positions on committees. Weiser told the board he regrets his poor choice of words, but said he will not, as he put it, not be canceled.
As we learn more about autism, we're learning of the positives that come with the challenges. Ahead, you'll meet a young woman with autism who is having a very tough time until she discovered a hidden talent.
Also, a business break-in and theft with a twist. Instead of getting in and getting out, police say this burglar decided to stick around for quite a while. That's next.